Welcome to the 49th Annual Miss Alaska Pageant. Please turn off all cell phones and pagers and refrain from using flash photography and video equipment. Tonight, 14 Division and 14 Miss Division contestants are vying for over $119,000 in cash scholarships and tuition waivers, as well as the coveted titles of Miss Alaska's Outstanding Teen and the Miss Alaska 2007. Who will the winners be? Let's meet the contestants now.
Wanchalla. I'm Miss Wilkins, Outstanding Teen 2006, Kayla Larson. Let's meet our contestants now.
Now for our Miss Outstanding Teens.
Welcome all you groovy people. My name is Aviana McKee. I will be graduating from West High School next year. Then I will achieve a double major in dance and design. Yeah!
Hello, my name is Jennifer Mills. I will be a senior at East High School next year. After high school, I will attend college where I will double major in psychology and environmental science. Tubular!
Good evening, I am Shannon Bradley and I will be a senior at South Anchorage High School next fall. Upon my graduation, I will attend college and double major in elementary education and musical theater. Groovy! And I am soon to be a sophomore at Chuyak High School. In the future, I plan to go to college and get a degree in culinary arts. Can you dig it?
Now let's hear from our Miss Alaska contestants.
My name is Carrie Makanani Vyayaleva. Currently, I'm studying at the University of Alaska Anchorage. I will use my Bachelor's of Arts in Photography to travel around the world as a freelance photographer. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Abby Hancock and I'm a student here at the University of Alaska Anchorage. I'm working towards my bachelor's degree in nursing as well as a minor in Spanish.
Oh, hi, baby. Hi, I'm Leslie Ann Jones. I'll be attending University of Anchorage, Alaska. I'll be majoring in aviation technology, professional piloting. So I'll see you on the flip side. Welcome. I'm Stephanie Jeffers. I recently graduated magna cum laude from Whitworth College in Spokane, where I received my BS in biology and a minor in theater. I will continue my education, getting a master's in horticulture before entering the career of botanical research. Hello, I'm Adrielle Matthew. I'm a student here at the University of Alaska Anchorage, studying biology and pre-med with a minor in communication.
Hello, I'm Jessica Chukrant, a junior at the University of Alaska Anchorage, double majoring in English and graphic design. Hi, I'm Jennifer Worth, and I'm attending Martin Luther College in Minnesota, where I'm pursuing a double major in Spanish and elementary education. Peace out! Good evening, I'm Brittany Leger. I have a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology and I'm currently working for Alaska Children's Services. I hope to pursue a career later at St. Jude Hospital.
Good evening, my name is Christina Roper, and in the fall I'll be attending this groovy place, the University of Alaska Anchorage, in pursuit of a degree in journalism. Dynamite!
Good evening, I'm Elizabeth Lochner. I received my bachelor's in marketing and my bachelor's in corporate communications from Duquesne University in Pittsburgh. Currently, I'm the marketing manager at Kaufman Engineers.
Hello, my name is Summersnagras. In the fall, I'll be attending the University of Alaska Anchorage, pursuing a major in psychology with a minor in theater arts. Good evening. My name is Carissa Dupray. I'm currently attending the University of Alaska Anchorage, pursuing a degree in psychology, a minor in communications.
Hi, I'm Holly Steeving. I'm a junior at Stanford University. I'm majoring in American Studies and I plan on continuing to law school. Far out! Wilkins, and in the fall, I will be continuing my education at the University of Alaska Anchorage, where I will obtain a degree in criminal justice with a minor in psychology. Enjoy our groovy show!
Please welcome to the stage your mistress of ceremonies, Miss Alaska 1991, Beth Helgeson.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the hottest 70s party this side of 1974. You know, when they called me to MC, I thought, a 70s theme, where else could I get out my banana yellow go-go boots and a wig and get away with it? I'm here, so thank you for having me, thank you for being here, and welcome. And tonight, we're taking a look back at the 70s, an era when the postage stamp cost 10 cents and a gallon of gas was 57 cents. And we didn't have these pesky wireless mics that didn't work either. Among the top 10 movies of the time were The Poseidon Adventure, Jaws, and The Godfather, and catchphrases such as far out, cool, and funky were popular. But some of the best memories are packed from the music, the disco music of the area. Tonight's pageant is full of some of the best loved tunes from that era, and tonight I'm hoping that you'll groove out with me as we witness the crowning of a new Miss Alaska 2007 and an outstanding teen 2007 as well. So, are you guys willing to rock out with me a little bit tonight? I'm expecting a lot of noise and a lot of support because these contestants are absolutely far out. You know, the 70s brought the modernization of the American woman, and the Miss America pageant changed right along with the times. Phyllis George, Miss America in 1971, became the first primetime female sports broadcaster. Cheryl Brown, who was Miss Iowa in 1970, was the first black woman to compete in the national pageant. And the feminist movement of the 70s minimized the importance of a contestant's actual physical measurements in favor of a generally well-proportioned figure, thank goodness. Judges were instructed at that time to consider beauty of face, voice, manner of speaking, wholesomeness, disposition, general culture, special talents, health, care of body, and dress. Whew, that's a lot of things to consider. And today's judges focus on all those things, but they also put special emphasis and a lot of focus on the contestant's personality, her intelligence, her confidence, and her awareness of social issues, and her performance ability. And speaking of today's judges, let's meet them now. I'd like to start with Lori Bradford. She has taught for 16 years at West Anchorage High School as the head of the dance department. Prior to working at West, Ms. Bradford previously taught ballet at Alaska Dance Theater. Lori holds a bachelor's in arts in visual communication and dance from Florida State University and received her physical education and dance certification from the University of Alaska Anchorage. She has since completed her master's equivalent from UAA and APU. Along with teaching at West, she's taught in the Anchorage Community Schools, Alaska Dance Theater, Alaska Artists in Education, and East High. Her choreography has been performed by the Miss Alaska Pageant, the Anchorage Opera, UAA Gymnastics, East High's Contempo, Alaska Dance Theater's Mobius, and Dance West. Please welcome Lori Bradford. Holly Adkins was Miss Alaska in 1990. She grew up in Kenai and she now resides in Eagle River with her husband Bob and her children Elle and Ryan. Holly graduated from Northwestern University in Illinois and is currently employed by the Anchorage School District teaching at Save High School. Her hobbies include reading, gardening, crocheting doilies, redecorating every room in her house, and spending time with her family on Big Lake. Ladies and gentlemen, please meet Holly Adkins. Has been a resident of Eagle River for 23 years and has been involved in pageants since she was 17. She held the titles of Miss Sioux-Sitten in 1991 and Miss Chuyak Eagle River in 1994, as well as Miss Alaska USA, representing Alaska in the 1998 Miss USA pageant held in Shreveport, Louisiana. In her spare time, she enjoys modeling, riding her Kawasaki Ninja, hiking, fishing, and going to the shooting range and traveling. That's an Alaska girl for you. Pamela is a graduate of the University of Alaska Anchorage and holds a degree in journalism and public communications. She is employed as a realtor for Keller Williams Realty. I'm pleased to introduce Pamela Cott. Linda Menard has resided in Wanchalla for 36 years with her husband of 45 years, Mat-Su Borough Mayor, Dr. Kurt Menard. Linda holds a BA in elementary education with a major in psychology and minor in music. She's been a Mat-Su school board member for 12 years and serves on numerous boards. She has judged over 24 pageants in Alaska. In the early 70s, she directed the very first Miss Mat-Su pageant for the Miss Alaska program. Raising 5 children, running in 3 marathons, and being a boardaholic rank as her greatest accomplishments. Please welcome Linda Menard. Joanne Sharon has been a supporter of this program for many years as well. She arrived in Alaska in 1979 and has 2 wonderful children, Wade and Candace. Joanne is a cosmetologist with Allure Day Spa and hair design, and she's listed in Cambridge's Who's Who for Designers, a major award amongst that elite group. She is an internationally trained educator for Schwarzkopf Professional, as well as a professionalism and image instructor. Joanne's many aspects of pageantry include the Miss Alaska, Mrs. Alaska, Miss National Teenager, Miss Alaska, USA, and Miss Preteen Alaska. Please welcome with me, Joanne Sharon. Worthington is a 5-year resident of Anchorage. He is the president of Cal Worthington Ford and Mercedes-Benz of Anchorage. He graduated from Bucknell University with a Bachelor's of Science in Business Management and a minor in International Relations and Economics. He is very active in our community, supporting the Boys and Girls Club, the Mayor's Charity Ball, the Pacific Northern Academy and Alaska Arts through the Anchorage Concert Association and the Anchorage Symphony League. He has held positions on the board of directors for both Pacific Northern Academy and the Anchorage Concert Association. Please help me in welcoming Cal Worthington. I like to comment that the judges really do have an amazing job, because what you see is often only a portion of what goes on behind the scenes, and they're really asked to look into every aspect of these young ladies' characters and to find out not only who's shining from the outside in terms of beauty and how they present themselves on stage, but really what they have to offer as a person and what they've done to invest in our community, what they're doing in terms of following their dreams and their calling. And that's all a part of their job tonight, is to find the best representatives for the state of Alaska to carry our name as a state and to go out there and compete. And so I thank you for being here this evening. The auditors for this evening are Edward Savory. He grew up in Anchorage and graduated from East High School. He has a bachelor's degree in business from California State University in Long Beach. He is a CPA and has been working for Mukunda Controlling Company for the past 7 years. Edward actually appeared in the 1991 Miss Alaska pageant as an escort for the contestants. Edward is married with 2 children. His daughter Ashley was just born on May 1st. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome new father, Ed Savory. And Scott Dahlstrom is joining Edward. He graduated from Brigham Young University, Idaho with a bachelor's degree in accounting and a minor in Spanish. Scott moved to Alaska in July of 2005 and has worked for the accounting firm Mukunda Controlling Company since his arrival. Scott was recently married to Eva Haraldson on April 20th of this year. Please welcome newlywed Scott Dahlstrom. So there are 5 phases of judged competition that go on behind the scenes and in front of you on stage to compete in this Miss America program. Yesterday featured the private interviews, and they were worth 25%. Tonight's onstage competition features talent at 35%, evening wear at 20%, physical fitness at 15%, and an onstage question valued at 5%. The judges will score each contestant on a scale of 1 through 10 in each phase of competition. The auditors will then drop the high and low scores in each category. The 5 Miss Division contestants with the highest scores at the end of the competition will advance to the final round. So there are 2 competitions happening simultaneously tonight, and they feature 3 different groups competing throughout the evening. So this may get a little bit confusing to you. You'll see the teen division, and then group A in talent, and then group B in swimwear, and then you'll see onstage questions from another group. But it's to break up the show and give you an opportunity to see each group competing and have it broken up through the evening. So just keep in mind there's 3 different groups, group A and B for the Miss division, and then the teen division as well. We'll start tonight with the teen division doing their onstage question. You know, although interviews have been a part of the Miss America program since its inception in 1921, it wasn't until 1936 that finalists were actually required to meet with the judges in a private setting. So the onstage questioning process has been a part of this program since the beginning, and it's always been a traditional favorite amongst audiences because it offers a glimpse into what the contestants are thinking. And I can tell you that it's often very nerve-wracking for someone to get up for the very first time on a stage and be able to answer a question and talk in front of people. So I call this one of the honing processes of becoming more through competition, because stage fright is a natural part of everyone until you train yourself out of it. And this, I think, is one very important aspect of competition that helps people to do exactly that. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Kayla Larson on stage. She is the Miss Alaska's Outstanding Teen 2006 to be doing the onstage questions, which are worth 5% of the score, just a little reminder. And Kayla, I just wanted to say congratulations again for a fantastic year. And to ask you an onstage question, put you on the spot, just to hear a little bit about an experience that you might have had this last year that sticks out in your mind that you'd like to share.
Well, the best experience definitely was going to nationals because you were treated like a celebrity, like a rock star. From the second you got there, they said your children are now celebrities, and we had bodyguards and security checks, and we couldn't talk to anybody when we were walking. We couldn't hold anything that anybody handed us when we were not within family meeting times and stuff like that. And we actually, it was horrible. All of us after like a 7-hour rehearsal, we're standing outside and our bodyguards have to sweep the restrooms before we were allowed to go in. So you got 50 little beauty queens doing this. And eventually it was all good, but it was a very interesting experience. And my mom asked me afterwards, she's like, so you still want to go into musical theater and maybe be a celebrity later? And I was like, yeah. And she was, my poor mom.
You know, a lot of times people ask me, you know, I don't understand why young women compete in pageants. They seem a little archaic to me, and I think that when people attend a pageant for the first time, they don't see really the depth of what goes into preparation. Could you talk a little bit about some of the preparation that you went through before the national competition?
Preparation is takes a lot of effort on your part, and it's probably more other people than yours, because a lot of people put their time and their effort into helping you do better in an interview or helping your dress look perfect. I mean, you just have to go out there and be yourself and be your best self, but everybody else has to be the one going, go Kayla.
And what do you think are going to be some of the most important skills you've learned from this year that you'll be taking on into the future?
Interview skills have definitely helped me a lot. Like, I auditioned for a musical theater college in LA, and they told me, they're like, well, your interview was really impressive, and you're only 16, but we're going to take it anyway, and they gave me a scholarship too. So it's definitely going to help me hope more in the future.
That's fantastic. Well, I'd like to turn the stage over to you, and now you can be the one to ask the questions.
Thank you.
Kayla Larson.
We begin the onstage question phase of the competition with teen contestant number 1, Aviana McKee.
Tell us about your favorite professor.
My favorite professor is one from 8th grade. He was my social studies professor. He taught me a lot about Freud and life, and he was a philosophy guy, and I learned a lot from him.
Your platform is entitled Preparing Our Teens. What are some of the problems facing today's youth, and what role can society play in helping to elevate these problems?
When I talk to a lot of my friends, I find that they're bored on the weekends or after school and they have nothing to do, so they go to the mall and walk around. I don't think that's a sufficient way of spending your time. I think it would be a lot better if teens were more active in their community. And to do this, I would like to get businesses partnered with teens in youth groups that the businesses would fund with a small tax.
Teen contestant number 2, Jennifer Mills.
Jennifer, what is the best advice you've ever received?
The best advice I've ever received was from a book I read, Gift from the Sea. It told me that you have to be patient. This is how I looked at it, as to be patient and to always wait for something to come to you. If you are expected to do it, you will receive it. It will come to you.
Teens Against Drugs and Alcohol is the name of your platform. Why did you choose this particular platform?
I chose this platform because of not a recent, but of an actual experience that I had with my father. He was an alcoholic, and he actually got mental disorders, and he eventually committed suicide. So I thought that, well, if teens are going to be doing this, they need to know the consequences of it, what are the ingredients in it, and how to avoid peer pressure and how to cope with it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Team contestant number 3, Shannon Bradley.
Shannon, if you could interview anyone in the world, who would it be and why?
If I could interview anyone in the world, it would be George Balanchine. He was an innovative creator of dance and brought and created what dance is in America today, and he founded the New York City Ballet, which is a world-renowned ballet company and has made such a great impression in my own dancing and on other dancers around the world.
Your 8th grade history class participated in a class project spotlighting the Alzheimer's Association of Alaska. Tell us about the project and what were the outcomes. We entered a competition called Project Citizen, and we chose Alzheimer's because me, as well as a fellow classmate, had grandmothers who suffered from the disease, and her family was affected and did not have Medicaid coverage because Alaskan law classifies it as a mental illness, and Medicaid will not cover that. And we ended up winning at state, and we went to nationals in Salt Lake City and competed there and won top honors. And we've been able to present our project through the legislature, and that was a great experience, and I hope to further that if I win the title tonight.
Team contestant number 4, Brooke Diaz.
If you could describe yourself in one word, what would it be and why?
It would be funny, because I'm a very funny person. I like to make people smile, I love to make people laugh, and it's just the greatest feeling knowing that you've made someone's day by saying a simple joke.
Asthma awareness is your platform. Why did you choose this particular issue, and how will you promote your platform?
I chose this platform because I personally have asthma, and I would like to set the message to teens about how they can control their asthma and how not to let their asthma control them, and also that there are no limitations. After I had my first asthma attack, I was always thinking there's going to be limitations to everything. And as I researched the disease more, I thought, you know, I will learn from this experience. So this has been great, and I will promote my platform by continuing writing the Clean Air Lung Challenge. I recently wrote it in 2007. And I've recently got involved in the Boys and Girls Club, so I would like to make health speeches to them also.
I'm going to do a test before I start talking this time. I now have the pleasure of introducing the first group of fitness competition. This phase of competition is a hearkening back to the start of the program when the Miss America Bathing Beauty Contest was started in Atlantic City in 1921 to extend the tourist season. This has always been a controversial part of the Miss America program. In fact, I'm always asked the question, if it's a scholarship program, then why is there a swimsuit competition? Well, if you ask the contestants, most will agree that while this is not the easiest thing to do, it boosts self-confidence and puts an emphasis on their focus on overall health and body image. While the swimsuit competition has evolved with the times to reflect the contestants' physical fitness, the emphasis on this event has steadily decreased to reflect only 15% of the final score. But it's still a favorite for many audience members. For this event, the team division will appear in the sportswear of their choice, while the Miss Division contestants appear in swimsuits. Please remember to be very supportive of the contestants with your applause at all times. For everyone during the competition, they have a much better time knowing that you're supporting them. So with that, the first group of fitness competition.
We begin the first half of the fitness competition with contestant number 1, Carrie Leva. Leslie Jones. Jessica Chakran. Jennifer Word.
Always makes me motivated to get out my Abs of Steel video. But now we're going to talk about the first group in the talent competition. The talent competition was first introduced in 1935 as an optional event and then upgraded to a mandatory phase of competition in 1938. While watching the talent competition is entertaining, judging this part of competition can be very challenging. Due to the vast array of talents ranging from spoken word, instrumental, vocal, and dance, there is much to be considered when weighing how one talent performs versus another of a completely different genre. Weighted at 35% of the ballot, it is one of the most revealing and exciting parts of competition. Performances are limited to a 2-minute time period, and judges are looking for overall stage presence, the ability to deliver the art in a compelling way, and an achievement of excellence in the performance itself. Here are the Miss Division contestants 1 through 8 performing their onstage talent.
Please welcome contestant number 8, Brittany Leger, performing a vocal piece entitled When the Lights Go Down.
He'll be feeling a pan with a broom in his hand in some dive across town. He'll be wiping the bar, mopping the floor, counting his tills and locking the door, wrestling the devil that tells him to pour another round. When the lights go down, she'll be calling her friends from the Mercedes Benz, but it's too late now. They were there for the fame, the flash, and the thrill, the drop of the name, the parties with his. It's another star from the Hollywood hills without a sound. When the lights go down and there's nothing left to be. Oh, when the lights go down and the truth is all you see. When you feel that hole inside your soul and wonder what you're made of, well, we'll all find out when the lights go down.
The Miss Alaska program would like to thank our stagehands tonight for their wonderful opportunity to help us out tonight. So let's give them a round of applause for that. We now welcome contestant number 9, Christina Roper, performing a cello solo from George's Gazette entitled Habanera. Apogee Studio deserves a standing ovation for their continued support of the Miss Alaska Scholarship Program. The official photographer of Miss Alaska, they are a professional and outstanding studio for any memorable occasion. Thank you, Faye, for your ongoing consistency and energy towards this program. There's nothing like a Broadway classic. Elizabeth Lochner, contestant number 10, will sing I've Got the Sun in the Morning from Irving Berlin's Annie Get Your Gun.
Got no diamond, got no power, still I think I'm a lucky girl. Got the sun in the morning and the moon at night. Got
Contestant number 11, Summersnagras, will perform an excerpt from the third movement of Vivaldi's Concerto in A minor. Please welcome contestant number 12, Carissa Dupray, as she sings a song originally performed by the Supremes, entitled, You Can't Hurry Love.
I need love to ease my mind. I've got to find time, someone to call mine. But mama said you can't hurry love. No, you just have to wait. Love don't come easy. It's a game of give and take. You can't hurry love. No, you just have to wait. Just trust on a good time, no matter how long it takes. But how many heartaches must I stand before I find that love to let me live again? Right now the only thing that keeps me hanging on, when I feel my strength, yeah, it's almost gone. I remember mama said, no, you just have to wait. Love don't come easy. It's a game of give and take. You can't turn it up, no. Love don't come easy. It's a game of give and take. Now love don't come easy. So I keep on waiting, anticipating that soft voice to talk to me at night for some tender arms to hold me tight. Now I keep on waiting, ooh, give and take, but it ain't easy. No, it ain't easy when mama said, no, you just have to wait. Love don't come easy. It's a game of give and take. No, wait.
A note of appreciation goes out to Arctic Rose, a Miss Alaska wardrobe sponsor for 7 years. As a provider of unique and elegant fashion, Arctic Rose offers a personal touch with every visit to the store. Located in the Meadow Rose Mall in Wanchalla, Arctic Rose continues to be a regal experience. Holly Muick Steeding, contestant number 13, will perform a spoken word composed entitled Love is When.
Love. Love is when I ask you to look out for me because I care for you too. Please come to understand me as I of you. And remember that you are dear to my heart and mean everything to me. And don't forget the times we have passed and enjoyed. Include me in your thoughts and prayers when I am just feeling blue. Keep remembering that love is around and it rises like the sun behind the mountains. Never forget that there is always an open ear. This is what love will do. It fills people with a gift that does not quit. Respect the best gift given on earth and share it among others. It is the truth of existence and the only thing that lasts. Understand that others may not understand the love that you do. There are a variety of loves, and each love is true. Tell someone the words that you love them too, and expect that their love for you will remain strong forever. Through the years, love remains static with some periods of intervals, but please remember with zeal, there is always someone who cares about you and loves you too. So respect your community with the love it grants you. Hug your parents who taught you how to love. Reminisce your first love and the lessons you learned. Celebrate the life of a newborn child. Thank a teacher for the love of a subject. Laugh with your friends who complete your life with joy. Kiss the one who is the love of your life. And remember, this world would not be what it was created for in the absence of love, the vital component of life. Love comes in many forms, but it lasts. And it can fill your hearts and occupy your thoughts and tear you in anguish for one who is hurting and one who you would die for to help. Love is the least selfish act, where you put all others before yourself. Love life, love the lives around you, observe love and imitate it. Be loving in everything you do, and it will be reciprocated. And you will be filled with abundant care for others. Just speak the words, I love you.
We would like to welcome 2 new sponsors this year, Cal Worthington Ford for a $1,000 scholarship and a $500 scholarship from Anchorage Mercedes-Benz. Thank you. Please welcome contestant number 14, Michelle Wilkins, performing a jazz salsa number to Shakira's Hips Don't Lie.
Ladies up in here tonight, no fighting. We got the refugees. No fighting. No fighting. Shakira, Shakira. Shakira, Shakira.
Oh baby, when you talk like that, you make a woman go mad. So be wise and keep on reading the signs of my body. I'm on tonight, you know my hips don't lie. I'm starting to feel it's right. All the attraction, the tension. Don't you see, baby, this is perfection.
Hey girl, I can see your body moving, and it's driving me crazy. And I didn't have the slightest idea until I saw you dancing. And when you walk up on the dance floor, nobody can ignore the way you move your body, girl. And everything's so unexpected, the way you right and left it. So you can keep on taking it. Never really knew that she could dance like this. She make a man wanna speak Spanish. Como se llama? Bonita. Shakira, Shakira.
Oh baby, when you talk like that, you make a woman go mad. So be wise and keep on reading the signs of my body. I'm on tonight, you know my hips don't lie. I'm starting to feel the joy. Come on, let's go, real slow. Don't you see, baby, see it's perfect. Babe, I know I'm on tonight, my hips don't lie. I'm starting to feel it's right. All the attraction, the tension. Don't you see, baby, this is perfection.
So at this time, thank you, I have the immense pleasure of introducing to the stage your 2006 Miss Alaska, a wonderful woman who's going to continue in her aspirations, Stephanie Wanchalla. I always love being the MC because I can ask the questions. So I'm going to ask you just to share a little bit about your experience as Miss Alaska and what you're going to be left with in terms of memories going forward.
Well, I've had an amazing experience as Miss Alaska because I've had so many appearances. I've had the opportunity to meet really amazing members of our community through volunteer activities. But more importantly, I think I've grown closer with my family because it was a lot of hard work that required help from others. While I was a hard worker and did my best, I certainly wouldn't have done as well as I did without the support of my family and friends. Memories specifically that I will cherish are those from Pageant School, Becoming Miss America, which was a reality TV show that I had the pleasure of being involved in and filming, as well as memories from the Miss America pageant, because that is such a surreal experience. It's really hard to put yourself, or to be on that stage and realize, oh my gosh, I'm on this stage. Oh my gosh, I'm on national television. Wow, I could walk away with the crown and the title of Miss America. And so just to have had that opportunity and to embrace it, that was fantastic in itself.
So what's next? After tonight, you're Miss Alaska, and you have your life ahead of you. What are some of your aspirations?
I'll continue going to school. I'd like to get my degree. I've decided public relations instead of physical therapy because it's kind of what I've been doing this year. And I feel like I'm actually pretty good at it, have a knack for it, and I really, really enjoy meeting new people and learning about other people. And so I'm going to pursue a degree in that, but ultimately I'm going to continue being involved with pageantry, volunteer all that I can, continue volunteering in our community, and most importantly, just try to be happy.
Well, thank you for your year of service, because even if it is a crowning moment, it is also very much a year of serving your state. So thank you.
Thank you.
And at this time, I'm going to turn the stage over to Stephanie, who's going to conduct the on-stage questions for the next group.
Okay.
We now begin the on-stage question phase of the competition for the Miss Division with contestant number 1, Carrie Leva.
Hi, Carrie.
Hi.
In your paperwork, you describe yourself as vivacious. Please explain to us why you feel that way.
Funny question, I got that in my interview too. Thanks, guys. Vivacious is a word that I feel expresses my spirit, that it uses all 5 of your senses. It feels good rolling off your tongue. It's a creative word, for the creativity of my mind. It's totally expressive of an outgoing, spirited young woman, which I am.
Great. Your platform is empowering ethnic women to embrace their culture and to promote self-actualization. What do you feel this is a problem, or why do you feel this is a problem, and what do you propose as a solution?
I feel like today, not just in our state, but in the United States, we are made up of multiple cultures, many people coming together from around the world, and that's wonderful. We have a wonderful mix, and it enriches us as people in our communities. But the one thing is, people are trying to find their identities. They lost their culture and gained a new one, but to find their place, their niche in this community, they need to find their cultural identification. And with empowering women with their cultures and their ethnicities, you find their distinct traits that help them work within the community and then find their path to self-actualization. So it works with them on an individual and maybe what they're predisposed to do.
All right. Thank you.
Contestant number 2, Abigail Hancock.
Hello, Abigail.
Hi.
Please tell us about your trip to Athens, Greece, for the 2004 Summer Olympics.
Well, my trip to Athens was really great. It was one of the best times of my life. We went over there for 3 weeks, and we had the chance to visit with the locals and learn about their culture, and just experience the whole Olympic Games also. So it was great.
Please tell us about your platform and your involvement with Habitat for Humanity.
Habitat for Humanity. My involvement started a year ago, and I started out first volunteering on the construction site. They build houses for people who are currently living in substandard housing or unsafe or unhealthy housing circumstances. Right now, I am a volunteer at the Restore in Anchorage, and it is a surplus store that sells new and used building materials to the public, and all of the proceeds go towards building more houses in the Alaska and Anchorage area.
Great, thank you.
Contestant number 3, Leslie Jones. Good evening.
If you could interview anyone in the world, who would it be and why?
I'd want to interview Sarah Winnemucca. She's a native Paiute from the 1800s, and she's wonderful. She's indigenous, and she's a distinctive young native woman, and she stood up for her people and spoke to bring two cultures together, and she traveled across the United States to speak to the president, all for her people. She had great love.
Your platform is suicide and depression among youth. Why did you choose this issue, and what impact do you wish to make?
I chose suicide and depression among the youth because it's affecting all of Alaska, and it affected me personally with losing cousins and friends, and it affected a lot of my family, and the impact I hope to get is to make Alaska one big happy family, because family helped me through a lot. They gave me my strength, my courage, and yes. Thank you.
Contestant number 4, Stephanie Jeffers.
Hi, Stephanie. Your career ambition is to become a botanical researcher who explore medical uses of plants. What inspired your choice to go into the field of science?
Well, my father was my inspiration for my love of science. He and I used to go exploring all the time through Anchorage, which usually meant places that we probably shouldn't have been. But he'd take me out there and he'd explain to me why this power line got smaller over the end. He would explain to me generators and transformers, and he would teach me about the things of science, and not only made it personal, but made it fun. So I think those great memories with my father really helped me love and enjoy science.
Your platform is entitled, Yes, I Can, Improv to Improve. Please explain what Improv to Improve is, and what are the benefits of participating in the program?
Sure. Improv is short for improvisational acting, which, for those of you who aren't familiar, is acting without a script. Theater with nothing on the page, you just make it up. Improv to Improve is the idea of using improvisational acting as a way to break down barriers and to build relationships between people. Improv is based on saying yes. Because there's no script, there are so many possibilities, and you have to make the choice. It's using your creativity that makes something beautiful. We took this into our juvenile hall in Spokane with my improv troupe in Anchorage, or in Spokane, I'm sorry, and we taught these kids the basics of improv, and for the first time in their life, their creativity was praised, and they were told, yes, you can do that. That's a wonderful benefit for these people who didn't get to use their creative side to be able to do that, and I'd like to see that happen in Anchorage.
Contestant number 5, Adriel Matthew.
You come from a large family. What are the advantages and disadvantages of a large family?
Well, I love talking about the advantages because they far outweigh the disadvantages. I get to know a lot of different people with different personalities, and it really, I think, lets me relate to more people than I would have, say, if I had just one sister and one personality. I get to see a really wide range of personalities, so I can get to know a lot of different people.
Disadvantages, I'm not sure. Not having a bathroom or a bedroom all to myself. But like I said, the advantages far outweigh the disadvantages.
Your platform essay is entitled Each One Reaching One, Encouraging Mentorship. And in your essay, you wrote extensively about your work with the King's Kids. Please share what the King's Kids program is and one of your most memorable experiences with it.
King's Kids is a group of over 50 children who get together once a month for a full-day workshop, and we learn dancing, singing, drama, things like that that we can take out in the community, and we use that as an avenue to help the community. We also do things like feed the homeless or donate to different organizations. Like one thing that I just love is that we got to participate in the King's Kids Day just this past spring, just a little while ago, and we got to see all these different people and just reach out to them. And that was just a real memorable experience.
Wow, thank you.
Contestant number 6, Jessica Chakran.
In your paperwork, you state that you were homeschooled. What are the advantages and disadvantages of this type of education?
The advantages are so many, I can't even begin to describe. I got a much better education, and it was tailored to me, which, I mean, while I was studying math, science, which I wasn't personally so adept at, I was able to explore my English skills and develop ideas, and I was encouraged to go forward with my own personal interests. The disadvantages, well, maybe not getting snow days.
Your platform is promoting literacy in America.
Yes.
What steps do you propose be taken to begin the promotion process?
Well, first of all, I believe that it's important to encourage children to be interested in reading. I believe that every child can be interested in reading, and I believe that we can use popular methods such as the internet to encourage this. My idea was that I could use an internet blogging site to where they could go on there, explore books, explore ideas, and maybe even blog about them and put their own ideas out there for the rest of the public to see.
Wow, thank you.
Thank you.
Contestant number 7, Jennifer Worth.
What inspired your desire to go into the elementary education field?
I have worked with children for my entire life. My mother is a teacher, and I've spent a lot of time helping in her classroom, and I love working with children. The time spent one-on-one helping a child is definitely the reward in working with children for me.
In your paperwork, you state that your platform, Early Childhood Literacy, Every Child is a Reader, has a twofold emphasis. Please explain these two areas of focus and their importance.
The twofold emphasis in my platform is working A, with parents to get them involved in their child's education before they enter school, and B, to get books into homes. I believe that it is important for every child to have the opportunity to read before they start school, and for parents to instill the love of reading in their children. Thank you.
We begin the second half of the Miss Division Fitness Competition. With contestant number 8, Brittany Leger. Christina Roper. Contestant number 10, Elizabeth Lochner. Contestant number 11, Summersnagras. Contestant number 12, Carissa Dupray. Contestant number 13, Holly Muick Stevie. Contestant number 14, Michelle Wilkins. We now continue the talent competition with the team division. Please welcome contestant number 1, Aviana McKee, performing a self-choreographed contemporary dance piece set to techno music by Marcus Inoshka. Contestant number 2, Jennifer Mills, performing a contemporary ballet to the song Finally.
Ever since I was a baby girl, I had a dream, Cinderella theme, crazy as it seems. Always knew that deep inside that there would come that day, but I would have to wait, make so many mistakes. I couldn't comprehend as I watched it unfold. This classic story told, I left it in the cold, walking through unopened doors that led me back to you, each one unlocking more of the truth. I finally stopped tripping on my youth. I finally got lost inside of you. I finally know I needed to grow, and finally my mate to my soul.
Contestant number 3, Shannon Bradley, will be sharing her love for ballet as she performed Keatre's variation from the ballet Don Quixote. A special thank you to one of our wonderful sponsors. Allure Day Spa provides beauty and treatments to Miss Alaska during her year of service. Allure is a wonderful place to go for premier facials, massage, hair design, manicures, and pedicures. It's a wonderful escape for anyone looking to be pampered professionally. Everyone, including Miss Alaska, feels like they get the royal treatment when they go to Allure. Thank you, Allure Day Spa. Contestant number 4, Brooke Diaz, will perform
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Am I a dipper? Well, yeah, I'm a dipper. I'm a dipper from way back. They used to call me the Big Dipper. Ooh. Yes, ma'am. Hello! What are we doing here? Well, hey, this is so much fun! Hey, what do you do when your nose itches? Is that so? Well, hey, there's a fly in here. I'm gonna get it. Here it comes. Where is it? Well, how about... Yes, ma'am. Move to another station. Okay. Okay. That's it. Let me just get something here. Oh my gosh, Ethel, let me tell you, that girl was crazy. She was good. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Whew. Ethel, what are you doing here? I thought you were boxing chocolates. What? Why? Well, I didn't do so good myself either. Okay, well, what are we doing? Oh, boxing chocolates. Okay. Well, this doesn't look too bad. Let's do it. Oh, hey, this is easy. This is so easy. Piece of cake. Oh, my goodness. Ethel? It seems to be going a little faster here. Ethel? I mean, I don't understand. Oh my goodness, she is gonna kill us. Oh my god. Go faster! Crazy!
Thanks to all of the volunteers who've made this program a possibility. There are no paid employees in this organization, and it is people like the ones you see on stage right now that make our show an opportunity for our contestants. So let's give a great big hand to our stagehands. Thanks again. Another thank you goes out to the staff of the Wendy Williamson Auditorium. What a wonderful experience for our contestants and our audience. And please welcome back to the stage Stephanie Wanchalla, Miss Alaska 2006, as the on-stage question phase of the competition continues. And we begin with contestant number 8, Brittany Leger.
In your paperwork, you indicate that you would like to operate a rabbit rescue. Please share why this is important to you.
Everybody knows what it's like to own a dog or a cat, but rabbits are kind of new for domesticated pets. So I think that people are getting rabbits and not treating them very well, and they end up in the pound and all that stuff. So I think that since there's nowhere for them to go except for the pound, it would be nice to have a rabbit rescue where they can play with each other, you know.
Your platform
focuses on parental involvement in the upcoming generation. Why do you feel there is a lack of parent involvement, and what do you propose as a solution?
Well, I guess I first noticed it when my mom was the only mom who showed up actually when I was in high school to drive us around for swing choir and all that stuff. So I was surprised when we moved up here that nobody's parents were bringing them lunch or anything like that. And then now I work for Alaska Children's Services, and of course there are some parenting issues and they need some help. So I guess what I would propose to fix that would be to encourage programs like Big Brothers Big Sisters for help for them.
Okay, thank you.
Contestant number 9, Christina Roper.
Hello.
On your fact sheet, you state that you are an avid traveler to different countries. Please tell us a few of the countries you visited and one memorable experience from those travels.
I've traveled all over the world, from Tahiti to Denmark to Israel. And Israel was by far my favorite trip. I went in 1999, and I went with my parents on a trip of the Holy Land, and it was a completely life-changing experience. I grew up in the church, and I grew up reading the Bible, and I actually went to Israel and saw the places that I was reading about. It was amazing, and I'll never forget it.
Your platform is the importance of adoption. Please share what prompted your interest on this issue and why it's important to you.
What prompted my passion for the importance of adoption is that I have 2 small nieces who were adopted from China. And seeing my first niece, Abigail, she was from Guangzhou, and she was adopted. She was found on the side of the road with her umbilical cord still intact, and someone picked her up and rushed her to an orphanage. And my brother and sister-in-law went over to China and adopted her, and she has just been a joy to have. And then 2 years later, my brother and sister-in-law went back to China to adopt another little girl, and both of those girls are just joys of not only their mother and dad's life, but also mine as well. And seeing children who are adopted is such a blessing both ways. It's a blessing to the children to be in a nice, safe home, and it's such a blessing to the parents and everyone that they encounter. It's truly a wonderful thing to see.
Thank you.
Contestant number 10, Elizabeth Lochner.
You attended university in Pittsburgh. What were some of the cultural differences you experienced?
Well, in Pittsburgh, they call things a little bit differently. In Pittsburgh, there's a really huge debate over whether a pop is a pop or a soda. First time my roommate wanted to vacuum the floor, she said, "Hey, I'm going to sweep the floor." I said, "We have a carpet. Why would you do that?" She said, "No, we're going to use the sweeper." What? A few differences. We surpassed that, fortunately.
If you could address a group of middle school students, what would you say regarding your platform of allowing leadership, raising expectations, and encouraging the genius of tomorrow?
I'd say that we're in a very interesting time. We're in a unique situation where it's really difficult to break into the job market today, but because there doesn't seem to be that understanding amongst the youth today, the competition is not too difficult. And every single one of them has the opportunity to really step up if they learn to communicate effectively and really look for those mentors that are available, that are yearning to help tomorrow's leadership.
Thank you.
Contestant number 11, Summersnagras.
Hello. You're currently the captain of
of the X Factor team. Please tell us about the X Factor team and what the benefits of participating on this team are.
The X Factor team is actually the highest ranked competition team at our newly opened dance studio, Dance Dynamics in Eagle River. We recently traveled to Hawaii and placed first in our division that we competed down there. And it's really great being captain. There's a lot of things involved. We practice every week, and it's just a really good experience.
Your platform is breast cancer awareness. Why is this issue important to you? And what steps may be taken in effort to avoid breast cancer?
The issue of breast cancer awareness is definitely a very near and dear thing to my heart because when I was 11, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. She went through treatments for about 2 years, and she's good now. She's doing healthy, doing fine, but I chose my platform for my mom and because of what struggles and things she went through. And early detection is really the greatest thing you could do to prevent breast cancer because now younger and younger women are being diagnosed with breast cancer. Actually, my Sunday school teacher was only 24 and she was diagnosed. And getting mammograms, doing breast lump examinations, just going to the doctor and getting checked out as early as you can.
All right.
Thank you.
Contestant number 12, Carissa Dupray.
Please describe a powerful woman.
A powerful woman. A powerful woman is a woman who is full of respect for others and herself.
Nurturing and mentoring victims of abuse is your platform. What do you feel is the largest contributing factor to this problem? And how do we begin addressing this nationwide epidemic?
This has started in young minds who have been abused themselves, or things that have gone on in their lives. They're hurting themselves and they need to put that hurt on someone else. They need to fulfill something in their life. And that is how it started. And how we can go about changing that is to build relationships, one person at a time, with those around us, in our offices, in our schools, and by teaching children and ladies and whoever the people that are witnessing abuse to go into their lives and into their minds and let them know what it means to be truly respected by everyone. Thank you so much.
Contestant number 13, Holly Stevie.
Hi, Holly. Hi. You were named after your great-great-grandmother. Please share with us what her name means and a little about her.
Well, my great-great-grandmother is Mayarak, and that is my middle name, and it is also my Alaska Native name. From the Inupiaq village of Unalakleet. Mayarak is thought of as a cultural bridge between the Swedish missionaries and between the Inupiaq of the village of Unalakleet. She is also considered the last Inupiaq princess from the village of Unalakleet. Her father was the last chief, and Mayarak likes to sew, and I also like to sew, so I'm sure we have a lot in common.
Your platform is building an American identity through cultural education. Please describe what this is and what can be done to institute the change.
Well, I feel as American people, we have an understanding for other cultures, and we even have a respect for other cultures within American society. But I feel we can have an even stronger understanding for other cultures and even stronger respect for other cultures when we're involved and we have exposure to these cultures. So I would like to start in elementary schools here in the Anchorage School District, a cultural fair day where there will be different booths with different cultures within Alaska and different stands, and I feel like this exposure will build a common American pride, and we can all be proud to be called Americans.
Contestant number 14, Michelle Wilkins.
Hey, Michelle. Good evening. You indicated in your paperwork that you want to be involved in the judicial system and practice law. What prompted your choice in this field of study?
I just felt that justice was very interesting. There's so much to be learned about it, and it stays static, although there's many different things about it. I just feel it's very interesting, and with my minor in psychology, I'd like to use that to get inside the mind of criminals and see what's really going on.
Encouraging youth involvement in after-school activities is the name of your platform. Please explain what your AAA program is and what the benefits of participating in after-school activities are.
My AAA program stands for getting more people involved in knowing about it and getting awareness out there. I feel that the biggest benefits of being involved in extracurricular activities is that we're keeping youth in a constructive atmosphere and away from getting involved in riskier criminal behavior. And also, since obesity is such a big problem in society today, it gives them that extra exercise that they might need and allows them to learn about themselves and socialize with other kids.
Thank you.
And now we'll be presenting the sportswear competition for the teen division. We begin with contestant number 1, Aviana McKee. Aviana loves the outdoors, especially rock climbing. She believes rock climbing is challenging and a fun way to be in the sun. Her favorite formations to climb are cracks because of the unique technique used to scale them. Team contestant number 2, Jennifer Mills. Pilates for Jennifer seems to be the greatest way to stay in shape. Stretch bands help to work out her entire body, keeping her strong and limber and ready for dancing. Team contestant number 3, Shannon Bradley. Shannon has always loved horses. She began riding at the age of 8 and entered her first show a year later. She competed as a show country jumper for 5 years. Team contestant number 4, Brooke Diaz. She recently completed the 120-mile Clean Air Lung Challenge, and her best achievement was completing last year's 500-mile Gregoria Bend across the state of Iowa. But Lance Armstrong didn't think so. The Miss Alaska Scholarship Board of Directors would like to extend a special note of appreciation to all the parents in tonight's audience who are supporting their daughters and have been a positive role model in their lives. Thank you, families. The song Habanera comes from the play Carmen. It is sung in French, but it takes place in Spain, telling a story of a dynamic woman that is as spirited as the pepper the song is entitled for. And please welcome contestant number 1, Carrie Leva.
souffrir, ne parle bien notre santé. Et c'est l'autre que je préfère, n'a rien dit, mais il me plaît. L'amour est enfant de Belen, il n'a jamais, jamais connu de loi. Si tu ne m'aimes pas, je t'aime. Si je t'aime, prends garde à toi. Si tu ne m'aimes pas, si tu ne m'aimes pas, je t'aime. Mais si je t'aime, je t'aime.
The University of Alaska system continues to be the backbone to the Miss Alaska Scholarship Program, providing a one-year tuition waivers to 10 contestants competing tonight. The University of Alaska continues to keep motivated, intelligent, community-minded young people here in the state of Alaska. Thank you to U of A for assisting these young women to being role models for their generation. Piccadilly Flowers has been a sponsor for the Miss Alaska program for the past 10 years. Providing beautiful flowers for arrangements and gifts for any occasion, Piccadilly Flowers graces our contestants with their bouquets. Thank you, Piccadilly Flowers. Abigail Hancock, contestant number 2, will be performing a rendition of The Flight of the Bumblebee by Rimsky-Korsakov. A young woman who enjoys the fluid movements and the grace of the dance is contestant number 3, Leslie Jones. welcome contestant number 4, Stephanie Jeffers, singing Show Off from the musical The Drowsy Chaperone, a story of a showgirl ready to call it quits.
I don't want to show off no more. I don't want to sing no more. I don't want to ride no more. I don't want to show off. I don't want to wear this no more. Play the saucy Swiss miss no more. Blow my signature no more. I don't want to show off. Don't try to control me. I made up my mind, and that's it. I quit. I'm leaving it all behind. I don't want to be cute no more. Make the gentleman hoot no more. I don't want to wear fruit no more. I don't want to show off. I don't want to change keys no more. Bring the crowd to their knees no more. I don't want to say cheese no more. I don't care if you scoff. I don't want to be cheered no more. Praise no more. Grab no more. Touch no more. Love no more. I don't want to show off. Disappear through the floor no more. I don't want to show no more.
Please welcome contestant number 5, Adriel Matthew, as she performs a jazz dance to Let Me Dance For You from the Broadway musical A Chorus Line.
I'm a dancer. That's who I am. What I do. I am a dancer. Give me the steps. I go through. Give me somebody to dance for. Give me somebody to show. Let me wake up in the morning to find I am somewhere exciting to go. Let me dance for you. Let me try. Let me dance for you. We made a lot of music dancing, you and I. Please, give me an answer. Give me a place to begin. I am a dancer. I have come home. Let me in. Give me somebody to dance with. Give me somebody to be. Let me wake up feeling terribly proud that the girl in the mirror is me. Let me dance for you. Let me cry. Let me dance for you. We made a lot of lovely music dancing. Let me dance for you. Let me cry.
An extra special thank you goes out to Dr. Anthony and Dr. Rebecca Makar for their continued support of our program. Please welcome contestant number 6, Jessica Chuckman, as she recites from Shakespeare's play Hamlet, along with creating a charcoal rendition of Michelangelo's Hand of Adam.
What a piece of work is a man. How noble in reason. How infinite in faculties. In form and moving. How express and admirable. In action, how like an angel. In apprehension, how like a god. The beauty of the world, the paragon of animals. And yet, to me, what is this quintessence of dust?
A note of thanks to Sullivan's Steakhouse for providing the judges' dinner for this evening. Presenting a lyrical dance and tumbling routine to A Dress Has Always Been My Strongest Suit from the musical Aida is contestant number 7, Jennifer Burrow.
One has to face a huge assortment of nauseating fads and good advice. There's health and fitness, diet and deportment, and other pointless forms of sacrifice. I am what I wear and how I dress. Oh, now I believe in looking like my time on earth is cooking, whether polka dotted, striped, or even checked. I would rather wear a barrel than conservative apparel, for a dress has always been my strongest suit.
Welcome to the 49th Annual Miss Alaska Pageant. Please turn off all cell phones and pagers and refrain from using flash photography and video equipment. Tonight, 14 Division and 14 Miss Division contestants are vying for over $119,000 in cash scholarships and tuition waivers, as well as the coveted titles of Miss Alaska's Outstanding Teen and the Miss Alaska 2007. Who will the winners be? Let's meet the contestants now.
Wanchalla. I'm Miss Wilkins, Outstanding Teen 2006, Kayla Larson. Let's meet our contestants now.
Now for our Miss Outstanding Teens.
Welcome all you groovy people. My name is Aviana McKee. I will be graduating from West High School next year. Then I will achieve a double major in dance and design.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Mills. I will be a senior at East High School next year. After high school, I will attend college where I will double major in psychology and environmental science. Tubular!
Good evening, I am Shannon Bradley and I will be a senior at South Anchorage High School next fall. Upon my graduation, I will attend college and double major in elementary education and musical theater. Groovy! And I am soon to be a sophomore at Chuyak High School. In the future, I plan to go to college and get a degree in culinary arts. Can you dig it?
And let's hear from our Miss Alaska contestants.
My name is Carrie Makanani Vyadayaleva. Currently, I'm studying at the University of Alaska Anchorage. I will use my Bachelor's of Arts in Photography to travel around the world as a freelance photographer. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Abby the University of Alaska Anchorage. I'm working towards my bachelor's degree in nursing as well as a minor in Spanish.
Oh, hi, baby. Now let us recognize Miss Alaska's Outstanding Teen 2006, Kayla Larson, for the wonderful job she has done this year by taking a look back at her year in pictures.
I hope the days come easy and the moments pass slow, and each road leads you where you wanna go. And if you're faced with a choice and you have to choose, I hope you choose the one that means the most to you. And if one door opens to another door closed, I hope you keep on walking till you find the window. If it's cold outside, show the world the warmth of your smile. But more than anything, more than anything, my wish for you is that this life becomes all that you want it to. Your dreams stay big, your worries stay small. You never need to carry more than you can hold. And while you're out there getting where you're getting to, I hope you know somebody loves you and wants the same things too. Yeah, this is my wish. I hope you never look back, but you never forget all the ones who love you in the place you left. I hope you always forgive and you never regret, and you help somebody every chance you get. Oh, you find God's grace in every mistake and always give more than you take. But more than anything, yeah, more than anything, my wish for you is that this life becomes all that you want it to. Your dreams stay big, your worries stay small. You never need to carry more than you can hold. And while you're out there getting where you're getting to, I hope you know somebody loves you and wants the same things too. Yeah, this is my My wish for you is that this life becomes all that you want it to. Your dreams stay big, your worries stay small. You never need to carry more than you can hold. And while you're out there getting where you're getting to, I hope you know somebody loves you and wants the same things too. Yeah, this is my wish. This is my wish.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kayla Larson, Miss Alaska's Outstanding Teen 2006. My doll is as dainty as a sparrow. Her figure is something to applaud.
101 pounds of fun. That's my little honey bun. Get a load of honey bun tonight. I'm speaking of my sweetie pie, only 60 inches high. I am caught and I don't wanna run, 'cause I'm having so much fun with honey bun. Believe me, Sunny, she's a cookie who can cook you till you're done. And being funny, Sunny, put your money on my honey
And at this time, we'd like to acknowledge Miss Alaska 2006, Stephanie Wanchalla, for her superb year.
Your new Miss Alaska 2006. Contestant number 15.
After holding 2 local titles and placing as first runner-up to Miss Alaska twice, I had finally captured the crown. My appearances began almost immediately, and I met many interesting people from all walks of life. While wearing a crown to an appearance is one thing, befriending truly amazing members of our community has been quite another. I kept busy scheduling my appearances and volunteer activities, including meeting athletes at the 2006 Veterans Wheelchair Games, serving a giant Alaska flag cake at the Governor's Picnic, speaking at the East Anchorage Rotary Club and the Alaska Air Carriers Association's annual dinner, fundraisers for the Red Cross, the Special Olympics, and Beans Cafe, speaking on Cache Country Radio for the Covenant House's Candlelight Vigil, visiting kids at Providence's Children's Hospital, and motivational speaking and reading at several elementary schools. I even hosted an interactive dance class for Hope Community Resources for those with physical and intellectual disabilities. One new and exciting addition to the Miss America competition this year was a reality TV show entitled Pageant School, Becoming Miss America. It was a production that for the first time in history enabled all contestants to meet their competition before the Miss America pageant in a nationally televised reality show. By the time the Miss America pageant rolled around, I had worked hard and felt fully prepared. My competition wardrobe consisted of custom-designed gowns by Tony Bowles, as well as red carpet-inspired designs by Giovanni. I came out of my interview completely thrilled with how it went, and played my piano piece on the Miss America stage better than ever before. The Miss America pageant was truly one of the most amazing and surreal experiences of my life. All of the women competing were intelligent women of poise and class, and they provided me with memories and friendship I will never forget. But what I will hold most dear to my heart are all of the gracious individuals who helped send me to Miss America feeling like I could walk away with the Miss America crown. To the executive director of the Miss Chugiak Eagle River pageant, Alyssa Parent, thank you. You were like a big sister, relentless in your encouragement and devoted to my success. To Bonnie Folk, from makeovers to wardrobe, you have been my biggest, most optimistic sponsor. You were a true blessing. Gina Jones, your faith in me was unsurpassed and unfaltering. I truly appreciate the amount of gusto you brought to my Miss America preparations. Special thanks to former Lieutenant Governor Lauren Lehman for consistently sharing his wealth of knowledge with me, and to Miss Alaska's 2003 and 2005, Blair and Rebecca. You truly were lifesavers with all of your enthusiasm and experience. And thank you to everyone who attended my Miss America send-off party. What a high-energy way it was for me to leave in good spirits. But of course, none of this would have been possible without my unbelievably supportive family and friends. Mom, you worked so hard with me. You probably would have placed at Miss America had you competed. Dad, thanks for doing and supporting whatever it took to make me feel prepared. Matt, you've always been my source of inspiration and encouragement. And Michael, thank you for helping me with most everything and for your complete confidence in me. So to all of my generous photographers, sponsors, and supporters, you helped make my reign the success that it was. Thank you. I will forever cherish this once-in-a-lifetime, opportunity that I had as Miss Alaska 2006.
Still gorgeous!
Of introducing the final phase of competition this evening, the evening wear competition. This event really is to celebrate the beauty of the individual. Introduced during the Roaring 20s to broaden the scope of the developing national tournament beyond that of a mere bathing beauty contest, the evening wear competition was originally limited to simple fashion in a parade on stage. Over the decades, the competition's format has remained relatively unchanged, with each new generation of contestants gracefully modeling their formal attire before judges and audiences. This event has provided a fascinating reflection of ever-changing standards of beauty and fashion in America. The evening wear competition, valued at 15% of the overall score, often appears to be the easiest portion of the pageant to judge. Judges, however, consider numerous nonverbal qualities, such as contestants' physical beauty, poise, grace, fluidity of movement, composure, self-assurance, and choice of gown. I now have the pleasure of welcoming the contestants in evening wear.
And the evening wear competition begins with team contestant number 1, Aviana McKee.
You are so beautiful. To me, you are so beautiful. To me, can't you see?
Team contestant number 2, Jennifer Mills. Team contestant number 3, Shannon Bradley. Team contestant number 4, Brooke Diaz.
I would not leave you times of trouble. We never could have come this far. I took the good times, I'll take the bad times. I'll take you don't go trying, so
And now for our Miss Contestants. And Miss Contestant number 1, Carrie Leva.
don't want clever conversation. Never want to work that hard. I just want someone. Need to know that
Contestant number 2, Abigail Hancock.
tell you that I believe in you. I said I love you. That's forever. This I promise you. I could love you many better.
Contestant number 3, Leslie Jones. Contestant number 4, Stephanie Jeffers. Contestant number 5, Adriel Matthew.
It's just like a dream to me that somehow came true, and I know tomorrow we've got a life of love that won't ever change. And
Contestant number 6, Jessica Chakran.
with a smile, take time to tell me you really care, and we'll say tomorrow together. There'll always be sunshine when I just the things.
Contestant number 7, Jennifer Worth.
A second to give to me that magic you make, and special way melt all my heart away. Take time to tell me.
Contestant number 8, Brittany Leger. Contestant number 9, Christina Roper.
Thanks for the times that you've given me, the memories. And now that we've come to the end, there's something I must say out loud.
Contestant number 10, Elizabeth Lochner. Contestant number 11, Summersnagras.
You share my dreams, my joys, my pains. You've made my life and if I had to live my life over, your wants.
Contestant number 12, Carissa Dupray.
Yes, your wants. Twice, 3 times a lady.
Contestant number 13, Holly Muick Stevie.
When we are together, the moments I cherish with every beat. To hold you, to feel.
Contestant number 14, Michelle Wilkins.
And this ends our preliminary competitions for the evening. I'm sure we're all looking forward to a little intermission. The line to the restroom will be long, so don't scurry for the door. There are some fire hazards.
Welcome back to this year's 49th year of Miss Alaska. This marks the 49th year Alaskan sponsors and supporters have provided scholarships to our state's finest young women. Throughout the years, former Miss Alaskas have used those scholarships awards to help prepare for productive careers in entertainment, journalism, education, medicine, marketing, music, and real estate, just to name a few. Please welcome our former Miss Alaskas as they are present here tonight. Bringing out Holly Atkins, Miss Alaska, 1990. Beth Helgeson, Miss Alaska, 1991. Carrie Schroeder, Miss Alaska, 1992. And Rebecca Hayes, Miss Alaska, 2005.
than just a volunteer for the Miss Alaska Scholarship Organization. She was a friend and an influence, and she was dedicated to offering Alaska women a chance to further their education and discover themselves through competition. In 2001, the Miss Alaska organization lost one of its best friends, but her vision for Alaska women lives on. Kay's friends and family established the Kay Larson Memorial Scholarship Fund in support of Miss Alaska. The winners in all preliminary categories will receive scholarships from the Kay Larson Fund. So once again, Alaska women can thank Kay Larson for her ongoing support of the Miss Alaska Scholarship Program.
Miss Alaska contestants.
I guess you're waiting for me. I now have the pleasure of announcing the preliminary awards. You know, I think one of the great things about this program is that it's not a winner takes all. Number one, contestants don't pay entry fees. A lot of people don't realize that. And the other thing is that scholarships and awards are spread out through so many of the contestants that compete that I always say, come back again. If you don't take the title, you've still won by competing, and you've also won potentially a preliminary award, and that gives you a lot of hope to continue. So with no further ado, I won't make you wait for me any longer. I'd like to announce the preliminary awards, and we will start with overall top ad sales. And this goes to contestant number one, team contestant number one, Aviana McKee. Teen division top sportswear goes to Shannon Bradley. In the Miss Division, Group A top swimsuit goes to Carrie Leva. In the Miss Division, Group B top swimsuit goes to Michelle Wilkins. The Teen Division top talent goes to Shannon Bradley. And the Miss Division Group A top talent goes to Carrie Leva. And the Miss Division Group B top talent goes to Michelle Wilkins. At the beginning of the week, 14 Miss Division contestants arrived to compete for the title of Miss Alaska 2007. Now, the number is reduced to 5. Ladies, to give the judges one last opportunity to make their decisions, please come forward as I call your name and complete your final presentation. And remember that all of your previous scores have been erased. Each of you who advance enters these final moments of the pageant with 0 points. The judges are now taking into consideration everything that they have seen during the course of the competition. Each judge will rank the top 5 contestants in the order in which he or she believes the contestant should finish. Tonight's top 5 finalists in random order are contestant number 11, Summersnagras. Number 1, Carrie Leva. Contestant number 14, Michelle Wilkins. Contestant number 4, Stephanie Jeffers. contestant number 10, Elizabeth Lochner. Please remember there is also going to be an outstanding team crown tonight. These are your top 5. Ladies, you may exit the stage as the judges make their final preparations. Notes? They're always handing me scraps of paper. At this time, I'd like some house lights, and I have the pleasure of introducing some ladies in the audience who have competed for some other programs here in the state of Alaska. You know, there's a number of different pageants that the state of Alaska hosts, and I'd like to personally say thank you for the pageant community continuing to come together, to support each other, and just really to further the opportunities for the young women of the state of Alaska. So at this time, I'd like to introduce a couple of young ladies, and if you would please stand, I would appreciate it so that we could acknowledge you this evening. First of all, I'd like to introduce Miss Alaska National Preteen, Morgan Moore. We also have with us this evening Miss Alaska Junior Teenager, Angelina Clapperich. And we also have with us this evening Mrs. Alaska International 2007, Kimberly Mulkey. And now it's time for me to say a couple of thank yous. I'd like to acknowledge a couple of folks who tend not to get recognized very often, but without these people, this program simply would not go on. I think I mentioned earlier this evening that contestants don't pay entry fees. And what that amounts to is unpaid employees, aka volunteers. This entire program nationwide is run by volunteers. There's about 8 paid employees at the national level, and every single person that is here tonight has volunteered their time. And you know, it's often kind of a thankless and misunderstood job when we reside in a state where dog sledding far trumps any sort of pageant title. I mean, quite frankly, if you go to Texas and some parts of the states in the South, when you win a title for your state, you really are a major celebrity. And here in Alaska, I think that celebrity does happen. I think that people do appreciate their Miss Alaska. But to keep a program going like this is immense. It is a major job. And sponsors are very, very appreciated because in this type of program, everything and every ounce of dollars that's come in is channeled right into our scholarship program. And these young women know that when they compete in a program like this, they're competing for educational dollars. Yes, it's a major opportunity, but it's scholarship driven. So these people are absolutely critical. You don't have to come on stage. If you'd like to stand, you may. Most of these folks are behind the curtains, but I'd like to acknowledge Faye Miller. She's been a photographer for Miss Alaska for 20 years, and she is representing Apogee Studios tonight. Thank you, Faye. Your pictures have shared memories for year after year. I'd like to thank Kathleen Kirsten from Eagle River. This woman has been a part of the program since when I first started, which was, Carrie and I realized, 21 years ago. When we started competing in this program, and Kathleen was there, and tonight she brought in snacks, today she brought in lunch for the girls. She's always there as a fixture, just helping, doing what she can. So Kathleen, thank you for being a fixture of this program. I'd like to also thank Annette Pantley. She's the treasurer of the Miss Alaska Scholarship Program Board, and she's a woman who has selflessly given of her time in a myriad of different ways to try to raise money and to support the program. So thank you, Annette. And I'd like to thank Matt Van Nortwick, who is sitting in the sound booth at the very back. He was sporting a really big afro earlier today. And again, he's been part of this program for 30 years. Even when he lived in Chicago, he flew back up to Alaska to continue his volunteerism in a program he really thought highly of. And I can't imagine this program without Matt. So thank you, Matt. Thank Carrie Schroeder. She's Miss Alaska in 1992, and I think this woman really embodies what a Miss Alaska should be. You know, year after year, I don't often see a lot of Miss Alaskas coming back. Sometimes it's due to their geography, they've moved out of the state. But this woman is a devoted teacher. She is a breast cancer survivor. She's a wife, she's a friend, and she continues to be a supporter of this program in a myriad of different ways. She's the president of the board, and she's also the producer of tonight's show. And I'd like to say thank you, Carrie, because the hours that go into this type of thing are countless. So thank you, Carrie. And finally, I'd like to acknowledge Carla Stevenson, the executive director of this program, and who I like to call the stealth woman, the ghost woman, because quite frankly, this is a woman who keeps this program afloat, but who you rarely see. She is the consummate behind-the-scenes person, always organizing, always making a phone call, but never really getting a lot of credit. And I think that she prefers it that way because that's just the person that Carla is. Her goal is to keep this program going. That is her sole goal in being the executive director of this program, and she has done that often by her will alone. It is to her credit that we have this program in the state of Alaska, and at this time I'd like to welcome to the stage Carla Stevenson.
She's right, I don't like to get out on stage very often. Tonight, I do need to mention one other person. Phil Evans is our vice president, and he's been with our program since 1981. So we have a lot of people that have put in a number of years with our program, and one that we would like to recognize tonight is Matt Van Nortwick, who is celebrating 30 years of service with the Miss Alaska organization. Matt became interested in pageant in 1977 as a sophomore at West Anchorage High School. By his junior year, he was working in the spotlight, and within a few more years, when the stage manager retired, Matt was waiting in the wings. Matt, you might want to come down and wait in the wings. I have something I'm going to give you. As stage manager in the mid-'80s, he was the pivot point for the technical aspect of the production with script, spotlight, lighting cues, and so on. He even jumped into the spotlight a few times portraying Michael Jackson and with a lip sync of Black and White, and also he sang White Sport Coat and a Pink Carnation, Daddy's Little Girl, as well as the annual Will She Be Miss America. Matt recently moved back to Anchorage from a brief stint in Chicago. He moved to Illinois in 1998 and every summer would return on his own dime to Alaska just to help produce our show. We salute Matt's 30 years of service to this organization. Matt is truly an example of what the Miss America organization's network of volunteers is all about. We thank you, Matt, for your dedication, your hard work, your support of the Miss Alaska program. We love you, and we're glad you're back home. Please welcome Matt Bennett.
Without him, we'd be dead.
Silent!
Now, I always like to comment on the fact that, while these programs might seem simple, that we're just coming out here, we're modeling a swimsuit, we're singing a talent, To the people who are here that are competing, this is really a major opportunity, one that they've worked on behind the scenes and that they've honed for a future opportunity to fulfill their dreams and to gain scholarship opportunities. So I just want to say thank you for being here and just comment on what the Miss America organization does. It's a dynamic organization. It heads 52 state programs, including the District of Columbia and the U.S. Virgin Islands, and hundreds of local programs across America who combine to make available each year more than $45 million in cash and tuition scholarship assistance. That makes us one of the nation's leading achievement programs and the world's largest provider of scholarship assistance for young women. And I'd like to direct you to your program book tonight because a lot of the awards that are given aren't necessarily going to be announced on stage, and I think that's just such an incredible part of this program, so thank you for being a part of it. And now, our finale, and thank you all for being supportive of all of our contestants this evening in their final walk. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our finale, and we are now ready to find out who the winners of tonight's competition will be. Our winners tonight will go on to compete in the Miss America's Outstanding Teen Pageant in Orlando, Florida, and the Miss America competition in Las Vegas, Nevada, where thousands more dollars in scholarships will be made available to her. We've seen a lot of talent and exciting competitions tonight. Have you picked your winner? Well, our judges definitely have, and the auditors have tabulated their scores, and we are ready. First of all, we're going to be doing some interview awards, and we will start with the Teen Division Top Interview Award, and it goes to Aviana McKee. In the Miss Division, Top Interview Award goes to Carrie Leva. The Miss Division, Miss America Academic Award goes to Jennifer Worth. The Miss Division, Miss America Community Service Award goes to Jessica Chakran. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for our first runner-ups. The Teen Division first runner-up is Shannon Bradley. And the Miss Division first runner-up is Michelle Wilkins. The 2007 Miss Alaska's Outstanding Teen is Aviana McKee. Aviana will be competing in Miss America's Outstanding Teen Pageant in Orlando, Florida. Congratulations, Aviana. And now, Miss Alaska 2007, representing the state of Alaska and competing nationally at the Miss America pageant is Carrie Leva. America 2007, representing your